Ever heard of the idea that God has a sense of humor? There's this incredible Thomas Rhett song that says, "You never know what's going to happen. You make a plan and you hear God laughing." If this is the case, God must be constantly laughing at me because I am a planner. I love making plans and I love making sure that they follow through. In fact, after I graduated high school, I had this very detailed and what I thought was perfect plan for what the next 10 years of my life should be. And God was probably chuckling at me as I was making those plans because he knew that there was so much more in store than what I thought was even possible. I had never planned on serving a mission. I was terrified of the thought of talking to people on the street, being an inconvenience, knocking on doors. I didn't want to do it. And then during my freshman year of college, I was hit with a brick wall of the Spirit telling me that I should go. So I put in my papers and was called to the Washington, D.C. South Mission. It was there in my second area that I met my district leader, Elder Palmer. And our district became very close that transfer, but at the end of the transfer, when he left the area, I didn't really think much about him. Several months passed, and I had an interview with my mission president, and at the end, he said, "Sister Harris, there is an elder in this mission who has asked me to not put him in any of your areas because you have become a distraction to him." I started apologizing, telling him that I tried really hard not to flirt and I was so sorry. He assured me that that wasn't the case, but that this elder told him that I had the qualities he wanted in an eternal companion. I was mortified. The thought of ever being romantic with an elder who had served in my mission was appalling to me because, of course, it was not part of my plan. Of course, my mission president didn't tell me who this elder was, but toward the end of my mission, after finding out that it was Elder Palmer, I vowed to never speak to him again. We both returned home a little while later, and he asked me on a date to which I reluctantly agreed to. And I'm very glad that I did, because it was on this date that I found out that this Elder Palmer, this Kyle Palmer, was a very special person. So a few weeks later, I started dating an elder from my mission, which was completely against my plan. But I made a new plan. I planned out every phase of our courtship. I knew exactly how long we should be dating, how long we should get engaged if that came to it, and when we should get married. And of course, the dating aspect was at least a year in my mind and according to my plan. 3 weeks after we started dating, we both had a very special and sacred experience where we knew we needed to get married. And I never planned to be that person because that's our typical Provo BYU couple that gets married within 6 weeks of meeting. I didn't want to be that, but I knew what I felt. And 8 months after we started dating, we were married. And marriage has continued to be filled with changes to my plan. But I'm realizing that God knows better than I do. And I'm finally starting to accept these changes. Just as Thomas Rhett so eloquently put it, you never know what's going to happen. You make a plan and you hear God laughing. Yeah, life changes, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Thank you.